What makes the NBA fun is that they have certain set plays called by their coaches that they use to create looks for a player. Plays can be called out of timeouts to start the game in early offense. Coaches have go-to plays and some even steal plays from other coaches and give little tweaks to them. In this video, we are going to go over a play called Chicago Action. This play, also named Zoom, is run by basically every single team in the NBA and combines two very common actions, which are a pin down and a handoff. This is a three-man action. This can work out of delay, a 5-out formation, and can get offense from potentially all three levels: rim, mid-range, and three. If you watch any NBA game, you more than likely have seen this play ran, but why has this become a favorite go-to play for most NBA teams? The play is usually ran out of the corner for a guard or a forward receiving a wide pin down and then a handoff from the center at the top of the key. As the years go by, this play can be seen ran at the top of the key or near the wing or even inside the three-point line. The beauty of this play is that teams can run it at any time. If their initial play is defended well, or if their offense is stalling and they need something quick to run, this is easy to get into and execute with the right pieces. The very simple form of this play is illustrated here with the Atlanta Hawks. Lou Williams will pass the ball to Clint Capella at the top of the key. Then Lou will set a pin down for Cam Reddish coming from the corner. The pin down is supposed to create an advantage, wanting to get the defender trailing. Ronnie Hood trails a bit on the screen as Reddish goes into the handoff, and this Capella handoff acts pretty much like another ball screen as it draws in Giannis to be a helper. Reddish draws the attention of Giannis. Quick and explosive players can turn this corner quickly and look to get inside, or if Giannis drops here, a mid-range shot is open. Now, if Giannis having to slow down Reddish, Holiday looks to tag Capella as he rolls to the basket. With Holiday picking up, this leaves Lou Will open on the wing. Reddish makes the right read. Hood could have just switched this, but it creates a wide open three for Lou Will. The two most important people on this play is the corner offensive player and the corner defensive player. Reddish, being the offensive player, has to make reads out of this, and the defensive player in Hood has to battle through the pin down and the handoff and either communicate for a switch or navigate the screen well. Also, the pin down screener has to set a really good screen to help create that advantage for the player coming out of the corner. The Hawks run this again for Trae Young. Young is already a quick player, so he is able to get his defender to trail before the pin down. After the handoff takes place, Lopez will drop in the paint. With Young's defender failing to recover, Young is able to turn the corner and get a good look for a floater. This play can also really expose defenses that don't communicate well. The Suns run this, and on the pin down, Cam Johnson draws two players on the ball. To make life easier, Harkless and Hield could have just switched on the pin down. Hield will guard Johnson, and this is an easy switch for Harkless. The Brooklyn Nets ran this a lot with Harden and Kyrie sharing the floor, and they still run it a lot in their offense with Harden gone. And here it seems like pistol action with the ball going to Patty Mills. Patty hits Claxton up top, then sets a screen for Harden as he goes for a handoff. Ntilikina gets caught in the screen, which creates an advantage for Harden. Now, if Harden turns in that corner, it puts pressure on Kristaps to stop the ball. Claxton quick slips to the basket, and he gets a lob here. The Nets would also run this in sideline out of bounds situations, as here Harden would quick get the ball to Claxton, then KD would set a pin down for Harden. The Nets run it a bit differently as they set the pin down close to the big. With Harden's defender getting hit on the screen, Turner has to pick up, which leaves the rolling Claxton open. Chicago has become a go-to play for Harden, and instead of those wide pin downs, the pin down will be set close to the handoff of the big. The 76ers run this a lot with Harden in the lineup now, and with the Harden and Embiid duo, it really puts pressure on the defense with having two of the best scorers in the league involved. Harden's man really has to stick close and navigate screens well. The Knicks have the right idea to at least switch the pin down. Fournier slides over to meet Harden as he cuts the corner looking to get inside. Ideally, right around here is a floater that Harden can take, but a good read as he notices Embiid is able to get behind Robinson. DeMar DeRozan with the Chicago Bulls uses this also to get to his mid-range shot. Ayo sets the wide pin down and Vucevic hands it off, and DeMar can get a mid-range shot off if the defense doesn't stick to him. Now another option here, because defenses don't want to allow middle penetration, they will send the weak side wing defender to stunt at the ball. And it seems like that's what the wing defender here was about to do until Javonte Green immediately looks to cut off of him. This draws away that stunt defender, opening up that space for DeMar to drive right if he wanted to. The Heat's main play of a horns into a stagger screen and handoff for Duncan Robinson is defended well by Corey Kispert, as he is able to get through the screens and recover to Duncan. So with this play being stopped, Duncan gets the ball to Yurtseven as he comes up top, and this then flows into Chicago for Gabe Vincent. Then he goes under the screen and even under Yurtseven, giving Gabe a look at three. Sometimes teams won't have the big slip immediately on the handoff, but instead give the ball handler another screen, like on this Kings play, and Harrison Barnes benefits as the defense goes under both screens, getting an open three-pointer. There are ways teams can tweak this play. The offense coming from the corner also needs to be able to read and react before the pin down comes. Teams may look to top lock to the tier from the pin down or cheat early jumping at the screen. The defense here sees the play coming and looks to jump to the screen early. Lonnie Walker does a good job faking as if he is taking the pin down and then cutting to the basket. The Dallas Mavericks utilize Chicago in a different way, as they would initiate this with Dwight Powell getting the ball near the elbow, and Luka will set a cross screen for a wing player on the weak side. Depending on how this is played, it can open up Ntilikina for a cut-in shot inside. Usually Chicago would take place near the three-point line in the corner. The Mavs run this inside the three-point line from the low post. Brunson comes over and sets a zipper screen for Luka, and Powell will dribble to Luka and hand it off, and even gives Luka another screen on his defender. This allows Luka to get inside. Isaiah Joe will tag the roll in Powell, which opens up Brunson on the wing for three. The Memphis Grizzlies get the ball to Brandon Clark up top, and then a wide pin down is set for Desmond Bane. Clark fakes the handoff to Bane and kicks it to Tyus Jones. Emmanuel quickly is sagging off of Jones, and the Grizzlies flow into an empty side pick and roll. The Knicks actually defend this well, and Robinson doesn't need to slide over and help as Toppin has Clark contained. This leaves Jaren Jackson open in the corner for three. The Detroit Pistons disguise this sideline out of bounds Chicago into a Spain stack pick and roll. Hayes operates as the inbounder and gets the ball to Grant, who then passes it to Marvin Bagley coming up top. Cade Cunningham sets a back screen on Hayes' man, and the Pistons will go into Chicago. Cade will receive a pin down into a handoff, Bagley will screen the trailing bogey, and Hayes will set a back screen on Bagley's man. Bagley will roll, Cade will drive, and find him for an open shot. Now let's rewind this back. The Pistons had the right idea to switch the pin down, but this happens way too late. Onyeka calls out the switch, Hunter doesn't put a body on Bagley soon, and Bogey looks to cover Grant late. The back screen by Hayes puts a bit more pressure, but Lou Will does a good job stepping over to stop the drive. Bagley is cutting inside, so either Hunter has to body him up or quick get in front of him. This doesn't happen, and Bagley gets the shot inside. Defending this play requires good communication and screen navigating. Jaylen Brown here defends Cunningham close and stays attached with him through the pin down. On the handoff and screen by Bagley, Brown keeps up but is still behind Cade, and Robert Williams operates in a drop. Bagley doesn't get behind the defense, and Cunningham runs out of space to operate, with Peyton Pritchard help stunting at the ball, and the Celtics close up the lane. This results in the ball being poked loose and a steal. As with most plays ran, the best way to blow them up is by switching. The Suns immediately switch to pin down screen here. Cam Johnson jumps out early. What Tucker can do immediately is slip this and get inside, as Paul doesn't immediately put a body on him. The Suns can't get into Chicago due to the switch, but they get another option with Tucker beating Paul off ball. The Blazers run Chicago. PJ Tucker navigates the first screen well, and the perk of having a Bam Adebayo on your team is that you can switch to handoff, getting Adebayo on CJ and PJ on Nurkic. Bam defends CJ to perfection here. The Heat again defend this well with multiple switches, a switch on the pin down and a switch on the handoff. This does create a mismatch, but PJ Tucker and Robinson does a great job communicating to switch off ball, and this play is contained. The Warriors defend Chicago well against the Brooklyn Nets as they switch the pin down for Kyrie, and Klay Thompson does a good job jumping out and denying the handoff. The Nets flow into a Mills-Claxton pick and roll, and Wiggins is able to recover and block this Mills shot. What some defensive teams will do if a defender drops on the handoff is send a wing defender to help close the lane. CJ comes over to stun at the ball. This is a good decision by Bane going into that mid-range shot, but he can't connect. That'll wrap it up for this video. Chicago action has been run for years, but it seems like the frequency every year of this play has risen more and more. Coach Daniel, one of my favorite NBA YouTubers, covered this in an excellent breakdown a few years ago. So I did want to revisit this play again because of the frequency that I'm seeing with this play continuously being ran by every single team in the league. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy content like this. And with all that being said, I will see you all in the next video.